Hello there friends, and welcome back to more Braev Lee Default. Last time, we scaled Eternian Central Command, dealing with countless soldiers along the way, and we have finally made it to the 49th floor, where, once we enter this elevator, I'm sure Braev Lee the Templar, Edea's father, awaits us. Ideally, it does not come to crossing blades, but we need to be prepared just in case. So, first on the list, we're going to be checking up on Narende Village. So, we gained level 8 on the special move shop and obtained the special moves Holy Weapon, Divine Light, and Cross Divide. And we got some gifts. Our village is coming along nice, but I think today we're going to be leveling up the River Parts shop to level 10, so we can get the special move parts Cure KO, which means that if you utilize an ability like Rejuvenation, you can revive dead party members. Also, there's Cure Charm and Charm Resistance up, which is also really useful. I'm also going to be paying a visit to our adventurer buddy here, who has some items that I want to grab. First things first, I'm a little low on Phoenix Down, and that's scaring me, so I'm going to buy 7 more, so we have a total of 10 Phoenix Down. So that should be more than plenty. There's also some compounding items I want to grab. First things first, I want to grab a few more insect antennas, as they are the items that allow me to create my own weaknesses, utilizing things like Pantheon's Wraths and whatnot. Actually, I want to go back into that menu, and I want to grab myself some Fulmin Shards. I don't think I'll need 10 of them, but I will be utilizing lightning weaknesses if it comes down to that, as a good amount of my weapons actually do have the lightning properties. But I'm also going to be buying a piece of equipment here. Now, there are some pretty interesting things in here that I could utilize, but there's one thing that I purchased, well, that I leveled up a while ago, but haven't purchased and said I would later down the road. And that's the Mutsu no Kami, which is a blade once wielded by a revolutionary leader. Now, this is actually the second strongest katana in the game, and it's only gotten through Narende Village. I am actually going to buy one of these. I specifically wanted to save it until I was at a point in the game where I knew that enemies were going to be a lot tankier than normal, and so we have sort of reached that point. So I'll be equipping that on Edea and giving her also the Kotetsu. Now, I was back and forth on whether or not to give the Kotetsu to Tiz or to keep him with the Raikiri, but because this has an elemental property just tied into it, and I don't need to give him sword magic, I'll be keeping the Raikiri on him for right now. But yeah, that utilized a lot of my Peeg, but trust me, it'll be well worth it, and if I'm running low on Peeg, I've got so many things to sell, we won't have any issues. One quick look at our special moves list. I'm utilizing the lightning parts, the 50% power boost, and Aquatic Slaying and Silence Touch, though those don't really matter all that much. For our staff users, we now have Divine Light, but checking on Rejuvenation real quick, HP Recovery level 4, Cure Silence, MP Recovery level 3, and BP bonus level 2. And for Lux, plus 5 turns, Physical Defense up, Poison Resistance up, and Water Resistance up. Now, Divine Light is basically is an attack ability utilizing the staff, so we are going to be going ahead and equipping just some lightning parts, basically. Everything else doesn't really matter. I guess I can give Blind Touch to them. Let me go to Ring a Bell and set up his Divine Light. I don't think I'll be utilizing Divine Light today, but it is pretty useful if you have access to it and want to utilize it. Especially if your healers or stave users in general aren't really doing anything too exciting. Looking at my support abilities list, I did change a few things around. Instead of having multitask, I actually removed it for Pierce Default, and also equipped Damage Dispersion. This is because Pierce Default is going to be really important for this next encounter, and is one of the main reasons why I looked at leveling Valkyrie on Edea, as she's kind of my main attacker right now. When it comes to Agnes, nothing really changed. She's still running the slow parry support amp, magic defense 10% up, and self-healing. There's nothing really I could have seen that really would have helped out, so I just stuck her as is. Ring a Bell, I actually added in shield lore, so that his blessed shield gives him extra physical defense. It isn't anything too crazy, but I want my Self-Maker to be able to live longer than normal. And then tis nothing crazy happened. I just rearranged the support abilities around to make it more appealing to me. But he's still running the two-handed and physical attack 20% up. And our preparations have been made. The last thing for us to do now is to enter in the elevator.
Father.
How could I have not known about that secret passage to your room? What am I to do with you now, Edea?
Well, I've been using it almost as long as I could walk. It's come in handy more than once.
I see.
Listen, Father. The truth is, well, I wanted to help you fulfill your ideals. I truly did. I think I was lonely. I mean, no matter how I tried to get through to you, you never paid me any mind. It was as if you always had your back turned towards me until I left Eternia.
It was not that I never accepted you. Rather, you were ever my pride and joy. My assigning you to the Sky Knights was an acknowledgement that you had become the woman I knew you could be. I had thought you might tame that band of ruffians, to bring them to order, and lead them. Alas.
Thank you, Father. I never knew you felt that way.
Do not thank me, for I too shall do whatever it takes. I cannot allow you to lay hands upon the crystal. Mine is a cause that I shall not willingly abandon.
Yes. Mother told me. It was when she first fell ill that you began to rush the pursuit of your ideals. Was it not?
I will not stand by and watch you ruin all I've made. You and your band shall not pass.
Why, Father? Why must you always refuse to listen to me? Are we really that different?
My ideals are no longer my own. It is my calling, nay, my duty, to protect this world.
Protect the world? But it's you, Father, who endangers it! Is this battle between us all but inevitable? I came here knowing that mere words could never bend your will, and yet...
You've come this far, only to spout such sickly sweet sentiments. You disappoint me. Blood and steel are the final resort between those unwilling to concede their beliefs. I am Braev Lee, the Templar, Grand Marshal of Eternia. Prepare for battle!
This is what everything's been leading up to. Let's take him down. First things first, though, we're going to be defaulting Anya, get our speed up. We want to make sure that Braev Lee cannot outspeed us and overwhelm us with his damage. We're also going to have Ringabelt examine the Templar. Everyone else default. Braev Lee likes defaulting, and he's going to be doing it a lot. He also has a large physical defense and magical defense, making him fairly difficult to deal damage to. And because he likes defaulting, that is why I have equipped Pierce Default on Edea, as I won't have to worry about guessing when he will default and when he will not. But for right now, we're going to be continuing our defaulting and increasing our defenses, as Braev hits really, really, really hard. We're going to be increasing our magical defense, as Braev can actually deal both physical and magical defense. Magical damage, not defense. So, it's going to be important to make sure we manage both of those. And then we're going to have Tiz and Edea default as well. There's Heart Strike. That's his physical attack. It is a guaranteed critical hit on a single target. It's pretty difficult. It's pretty high damage for us at this level, as it'll deal about half of our HP bar even if you are defaulting. We're going to be making sure to increase our physical defense because of that, but we'll handle that in just a second. I'm going to be adding Thundaga as my sword magic to Edea here, as I will be equipping a weakness onto Braev. Currently, his weakness is Dark, but because we do not have any access to Dark magic on my current comp, we're going to have to work around that. We're going to be increasing our physical defense with Anyes here, and then Ring a Bell, he has a 1 BP stored, so I actually will go ahead and utilize that, and pop in the Blessed Shield, and create a compound utilizing the Insect Antenna and the Fulmin Shard to create the Lightning weakness. And then Tiz, Braev is currently at 0 BP. Very rarely will he actually do any attacks at 0 BP. He normally wants 1 or 2 BP, so we can work around that, and knowing that even though he will be defaulting, our debuffs will still go through with Shell Split. So let's go ahead and apply those. There we go, he's defaulting. There's our defense ups. There's his defense downs. And then we're going to compound a weakness for him. And now he's sort of at our mercy. And I'm actually going to go ahead and go on the offense here with Moon Shadow. And then Edea is going to attack. Even if Braev decides to default here, Edea's damage will still fully go through, which is the power of Pierce Default. We're going to increase everyone's speed again. And then Ring a Bell, we're going to go ahead and have him default. And then Tiz, I actually want to go ahead and have him Brave twice and utilize double damage, just in case he decides to not default. This will finish him off, probably. 35,000 HP is nothing difficult to get through. We're going to speed things up here. And then Edea's damage is going to go crazy with the new Mitsunakami. There we go. Nearly 3,000 damage normally. 12,000 HP left. 7,000 HP to deal with, that'll be alright. We're going to go ahead and increase our physical attack with Anyes here. And then Ring a Bell, we'll go ahead and just utilize the Blessed Shield, as this is going to hurt. And then Tiz, we're going to have him try and finish Braev off with a double damage. Let's see if we can get that the provoke off. Radiant Blast. Okay, it's on Edea. Heart Strike. On Tiz. Counter.
You shall not pass.
But Braev is not going to go down that easily, as he's back up on his feet with 35,000 HP more. We're going to go ahead and reapply our Thundaga, and we're going to try and recover ourselves here. We're going to speed up, and Ring a Bell, you know what? Get your rejuvenation out here. We want as much BP and HP as we can get. There we go. This will give us 2 extra BP, a lot of extra MP, and full HP. There we go. Now we're back and healthy. Edea, we're going to get ahead and default. Anyes, we're going to have you Braev twice. We're going to keep our physical defense and magical defense as high as possible. And then we're going to grab a Love Power to increase our physical attack. Ring a Bell, we need to reapply that compound so we can attack him with our lightning abilities. And then we're going to have you heal everyone just in case Braev decides to attack this turn. Tiz, we're going to go ahead and have you lower Braev's defense and prep for an attack turn next. There's physical defense down. We're going to speed things up here. We've seen all of Braev's and what he has in store for us, those 2 moves. We can heal everyone up, and then we're going to go at him, as he's definitely going to be going on the offensive this time around. We're going to be ready for him. We're going to go ahead and default with Anyes. We're going to go ahead and heal up with Ring a Bell, and then Tiz, we're going to have you go on the offense. We're going to have you continue the special moves by utilizing Moon Shadow, and then double damage. Oh, he's going to go for the default. Wow, okay, so he's going for 3 BP.
You shall not pass!
He's up a 3rd time! 35,000 HP. Alright, Tiz, come on. Deal some extra good damage on him. We don't want Braev to last much longer. Oh, how much can he keep this fight going? This is the 3rd time. Hopefully not much longer. Though, Braev only has roughly about 20,000 HP left. I think Edea should be able to finish him off if we can get our action off in time. We're going to go ahead and have everyone else default. We're going to utilize Tiz's Node 9 enemy, just in case he decides to actually go for any attacks. Maybe Tiz can finish him off if need be.
You have grown strong, my daughter.
Victory at last. Braev Lee the Templar has fallen. 2000 EXP, 200 JP. No level ups, but we did get a job level with Edea, and she learned Kairai. And we got an elixir for that as well. And of course, with a member of the Eternian forces down, the member of the Eternian forces, we obtain the Templar asterisk. The Templar, a warrior with formidable defense, good offense and defense, and favors swords and armor. Their specialty is BP limit up, and their job command is Holy Arts. The Templar stats are built around being a defensive tank, being able to deal decent damage, but also have a lot of survivability tools. Their arms aptitude is primarily focused on swords, axes, and spears, as they're going to be wanting weapons that deal a lot of extra damage and can provide special effects, like the Excalibur we see here in the video, that can utilize light damage. In terms of their armor aptitude, they are tanks. They can wield any type of armor in the game and be very effective with it. The Templar specializes in dealing decent damage, especially against higher level or higher HP opponents, while also being able to protect their allies utilizing abilities like Rampart, or even other of Job's abilities like Protect Ally to a very good degree. The Templar also has the ability to control how much BP they can actually acquire, allowing them to utilize more expensive attacks without much difficulty. The Templar can sort of cover a lot of ground with very little, though it does leave them a little spread thin when it comes to actually specializing in something. But if you want a little bit of everything while still being able to live a lot of crazy attacks, this is the job for you.
Braev!
Mother!
You should not have come.
Forgive me, Braev. Forgive me, Edea. This is all my fault.
What is this foolishness you speak? You are ever the strength that keeps me alive. And I love you and Edea dearly.
Father? Father!
Do not fear. He is merely unconscious. His wounds, they will heal, though it will take some time. And he may never wield his sword again.
Mother, I took up arms against Father. I told myself I was ready to fight him, even if it meant shortening his years.
Then surely you will not stray from your path, so long as you hold that feeling near and dear. By your actions, you have finally granted your father a reprieve from his anguished struggle. It was for the best.
Mother, we now go to awaken the Earth Crystal.
I see.
Forgive me.
There is no need to ask my forgiveness.
Oh, but there is, Mother. For if we awaken the crystal, your treatments will no longer be possible. We will no longer be able to keep what ails you at bay. What sort of daughter does that to her mother?
Oh, Edea, you truly are your father's daughter. And that is what makes you even more dear to me.
Mother!
How very touching. I beg pardon for my interruption, but your fear is misplaced.
And you are...
Of course, you had yet to see me in this form. I am Lester de Rosso. But you may address me as Lord de Rosso.
What do you mean our fear is misplaced?
It appears you have underestimated the Templar's great deeds. Deeds for which he risked life and limb. For he has advanced science and medicine in this land by 100 years. While complete cures may not yet be possible, sickness and disease can be prevented from further progression. Awakening the crystal shall not rob your mother of such mortal life as she has left, Edea.
So then...
We're free to awaken the crystal!
Dear.
Ironic, is it not? To think I would be the one to urge the Wind Vestal and her companions to awaken the crystal. I can see purpose unwavering in your eyes. 'Tis as if I gaze upon Braev the Templar in his youth. And yet, there is still much that you cannot fathom. I have seen years measuring in thousands. Hope and sentiment intertwined with right and wrong, good and evil. The rise and fall of the Orthodoxy, the restoration of Eternia, the two conflicting beliefs concerning the crystals. So much may happen in a life immortal.
The way to Everlast Tower is beyond this door.
Let's go!
Let's press on. You're staring at that journal fit to burn a hole in it. I may as well. The thing stopped coughing up prophecies. Just who was the author in the end? Can't help but wonder. Did someone in the past foretell what the four of us would do? Or are the us in the book actually other people who lived in the past? Other people whose doings perfectly overlap with our own? Both theories are equally hard to believe. According to the text, you've met the book's author before, Agnes. Any recollection? No, I'm not entirely without my suspicions, but I feel they must be wrong. After all, you don't recall writing it, do you, ring a bell? Me? I'm afraid not. And the author claims to have saved your life, 'tis. Do you remember anything? No, nothing. I'd always just assumed it was Owen that rescued me. In Edea, the author claims he's madly in love with you. Any ideas? So I can pummel him? If I said no, I'd be lying. What? I'm saying I have my suspicions where boys in love with me are concerned. But the facts don't add up. For either of them. Either? I suddenly find myself twice as angry. Regardless, to the extent its words can be trusted, the book says... It says you three are going to meet the author if we keep pressing on. I see little point in fretting over someone we may or may not meet. The Earth Crystal awaits us. This much is fact, so let us hurry to Everlast Tower. Seconded, awakening the crystals has been our top priority. Then let us hurry on. Right. Braev Lee has fallen, and the way to Everlast Tower and the Earth Crystal has been opened. The threat of Mazer Lee's life being in danger for us awakening the crystal has been put to rest, which, I guess, in the sea of us being traitors and taking down Edea's father, that is something positive. But, next time on Braev Lee Defaults, we're going to be heading through these doors and going to Everlast Tower. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.